same issues you do, but seems like more and more it feels like I wake up with a hangover.
Yeah. Wait, you started cutting out there. What did you say after hangover?
I said it feels more and more like every morning when I wake up, it feels like I have a hangover, but I didn't drink the night before.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I kind of just started drinking a lot less, at least to the point where, you know, there was a time that I would drink a fair bit so that I could get a heavy buzz, borderline drunk. And I just had too many days of feeling too shitty to where, and I like my new equilibrium would be like, you know, maybe 2 or 3 beers and maybe a slight buzz out of it, but at least I didn't feel like fucking dog shit the next day.
Yeah. Well, as you get older, it just feels like more and more like fuck, I got a hangover, but I didn't drink.
I know. I got a hangover and all I did last night was play checkers and drink lemonade.
Yeah.
So, yeah. How's work going?
It goes. Got a meeting for the first time with my company on Monday. They want to take me out for lunch because I'm a subcontractor. I haven't talked to them since I started. And I honestly prefer it that way. It's like, fucking leave me alone, give me money, just leave me alone. So, they're like, hey, we want to take you out for lunch. It just so happens there's a new change to the contract that's coming up, and they're probably looking to bring in some people, so I know what they're doing. Yeah, but I mean, it's same old, you know, almost everybody I work with is pretty cool. There's one guy who I just cannot fucking stand. He's just one of those mouth breather type individuals.
Hey, you're always going to have at least one person. Hopefully only one, but at least one.
Yeah, so far just the one. He's definitely an oxygen thief. All he really does is convert oxygen. I think, so the first time I met this guy, he said fuck 6 times. Said he had no idea what he was doing, and then made the comment that I didn't look like a guy who hunted or camped because of the way I was dressed. So
he came in just trying to posture and like, I'm gonna establish who's the alpha here.
No, not at all. He said he has no idea what he's doing. He said the F word 6 times.
Oh, that he has no idea what he's doing?
Yes.
So, like, basically admitting he's an idiot right off the bat?
Kind of.
Setting a very low bar for himself?
Kind of, yeah. And then I was like, oh yeah, you know, I got turkey tags. He's like, you hunt? You don't look like a hunt. I'm like, motherfucker.
What is a hunter supposed to look like?
I know, right? Like, okay, I get it, because I dress up at work, right? I'm sorry I didn't, you know, dress in my fucking camos.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, I just expected you to look like a pickup truck.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't have my fucking Confederate flag in my Stetson.
I don't know, you know, as far as basic interaction and human interacting skills go, some people
he has not to date done anything. And the reason being is because he's waiting for like network access for all of his shit. It's been 2.5 months. The fucking guy has done nothing. Not a thing. And I'm not even like over exaggerating. He's done, and everybody kind of sees his shit, so I don't know, I just don't like him. And I made it pretty fucking obvious. Like, I can tell within the first like 30 seconds if I don't like somebody, and I will never like them. Except you. You were kind of a dick the first time I met you, but I ended up liking you.
I take a very different philosophy on that. There are a lot of people that I initially could not stand that I ended up liking a fair bit after I got to know them. Like you.
Yeah, right. Well, Again, I think you were the only exception, but for the most part, like if I don't like someone from the get-go, there's a pretty low chance I'm gonna like you.
I don't know. You know, some people I feel like just really suck at first impressions, but you know, under the right circumstances, you get to know them, and they turn out to be pretty chill, and maybe you misunderstood them at first. Like that shit's happened to me. I'll give. I kind of. But I will say, yeah. From what you described, I would probably break that rule for that person because he sounds like just such a transparent, straight-up dick. Like, what's the point in even wasting your time with a person like that?
But and that's the thing is, you know, okay, you know, sometimes I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But he has time and time again shown that he is just a fucking
a what? You cut out. A
loser.
Loser. Okay.
Le who say her.
Well, it is unfortunate when it's a person that is like extremely incompetent, but he sounds like very loud and obnoxious as well as being incompetent. Or is he loud and obnoxious?
Not like obnoxious, but he's got like, I don't know how to describe it other than just fucking annoying. And
I mean, yeah, I get that.
Like he like it's like, okay, well, what do you do in your pastime, dude? Oh, I run a software company. Okay, fucking cool. Like, you gonna tell us more about it? Like, no, it's all proprietary. It's like, well then, fucking why?
Just be like, I'm just trying to make small talk.
And he's like
asshole.
30 years old. And then the other day he was like, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm picking out a new watch band. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So you're being productive. And he goes, yeah. I said, what kind of watch band are you getting? You know, just trying to make small talk, you know, see if he can redeem himself. He's like, I'm special ordering it from Switzerland so that it matches my belt or my shoes or something like that. And I'm going, what the fuck?
You know what?
And he's like, oh yeah, you know,
so wrong with that.
At work there is. When everybody else is fucking working and you're designing a custom face watch band for $600 fucking from Switzerland, yeah, I gotta fucking.
You know, he's probably. Usually, people in those situations make about what they're gonna make and are promoted to about where they're gonna be promoted because that shit's gonna severely limit their growth.
He's like, yeah, I have a problem with you know, spending money on expensive things I can't afford. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like what? And he's like, well, I have a Lexus. This is actually my third Lexus because the other two got repossessed. I'm like, dude, you just win every time you open your mouth. All right, continue.
This now sounds like someone that is like doing this intentionally to get a rise out of you. There's no way.
No. So that's what I thought, right? Like, this guy can't be that stupid. So a coworker of mine went on a camping trip. And on this camping trip, he actually ran into ex-coworkers of this guy. And this guy borrowed apparently like a couple $1,000s from another coworker and never paid him back.
Well, he sounds like just a fantastic human being.
Oh, dude, I peg him. As soon as I can tell that I don't like you, I know, I can tell. I have grown this skill.
Well, I mean, there's a bar where, yes, I feel the same way, but I don't know.
Until you prove me wrong otherwise, but I won't say anything.
I don't know, but then again, you don't seem to be like, the way you feel about this guy, I don't hear that often from you about many people, so it's not like, you know, your line is probably close to where my line is for someone. I mean,
you really have to dig yourself a fucking deep hole. I mean, really dig yourself a deep hole for me not to.
Well, I mean, there are definitely people that I can't stand.
Like, you make racial comments, I immediately am not gonna like you. I don't care how much trying you do afterwards of being a good guy. You drop a racist comment, I'm probably not gonna enjoy.
Oh god, well, and especially if you're like just meeting someone. I mean, not that it's appropriate otherwise, but like if someone is gonna let that kind of shit slip, like when you barely know that person, they're definitely a shithead.
Right. Like I said, you can just kind of tell, like when you first meet somebody and they're like, "Oh no, I believe in us speaking only English in this country." I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're definitely not gonna." Or like, is it okay if I blast my Christian gospel music at work? No, it's fucking not okay. I'm trying to work.
You know, people like to invent a lot of problems that aren't really problems. Everyone's got to have problems.
And the best fucking line, dude, I laughed in this kid's face. I could not fucking help it. I mean, this guy, like I said, he's a fucking mouth breather oxygen converter. That's all he's good for. He fucking said that he's like, yeah, I really pushed myself last week. And my coworker was like, oh, really, what'd you do? He's like, I pulled my back out moving a massage chair into the house. And I just could not fucking stop laughing. I was like, dude, that is some first world fucking problems. You really worked yourself installing a massage chair in your fucking house? Oh my god.
That is ridiculous.
Like I don't even know where to go with that one. It's like a fucking bad joke. Like, have you ever worked so hard that you pulled your back out installing moving a massage chair in your house? Yeah, so he needs like time off of work to go get his back x-rayed or some shit. This kid's like 30. Like, he is not like some old 50-year-old guy.
Well, alright. Since we're telling stories about shitty coworkers that everyone hates, we definitely had someone, I'll keep it very vague, someone like that on our team at work for a number of years. He was a very long time employee, but he had the worst, like, narcissistic personality ever. Like, he looked like a cross between, like, Jack Black and Steve Buscemi.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow, okay. But he had white hair and very, very crooked teeth, and like just looked like a rapist. I don't know. He just had that kind of vibe. Like, just, this is a man you don't go near. And he would go around and like walk up to people and start rubbing their shoulders.
Oh, fuck me. Oh,
like,
hell no.
He would randomly like come up and look at someone, and he would just like put his hands on my shoulders and start rubbing them like he's giving me a shoulder rub.
Oh,
and then he would tell me all of these stories. He's like an older guy. He's in his 60s. Literally out of his mind. He would tell me stories, just the most fucked up stories. Like, he said his wife was like had fortune teller powers and could see the future, and that proceeded to tell this story about how she told a telemarketer on the phone about how she was going to get in her black car in the parking garage and she's going to drive away. And like, I'm like, wait, don't fucking finish this story. This is horrific what you're telling me. Like, he's like thinking he's telling me about his wife's superpowers, but instead he's admitting that they're like on the verge of being murderers.
Jesus Christ.
And
dude, anybody and then he touches me and shit's going to get ugly super fast. I don't care who or what you are, male, female. So he got fired. I don't care.
He got fired. We got him fired a couple years ago, and they actually brought a security guard especially for his fire to the building, and he stayed posted for like 2 weeks because he had like gone around talking a lot about how, you know, he's a big gun owner, and that when he heard some kids like making noise, like messing with his car, or like out on the street, and he came out and brandished his firearm at them and threatened them.
God.
And
yeah, you know, because it's cool to kill someone over.
Well, and then he would just tell these stories, and you look at him, you're thinking, okay, this is, you know, Jack Buscemi, and he's telling me, he's telling these grand stories about how he was a ping pong champion in high school, and like these heroic ping pong matches that he had, and
the fuck?
I gotta get it. I have to have a picture of this guy somewhere that I could send you, because And then he would he would tell stories about how like he was the most amazing programmer in the world, and you know, there was this bug that came up one time that cost the company $2 million, and he solved it in 30 seconds by pointing out that they forgot to reallocate their memory. And just like, he just had all these grandiose stories about how he pulled these amazing feats and saved the day. Was ping pong champion.
What the fuck?
But yeah, he got fired for, among other things, sexual harassment.
Jesus Christ.
Because finally, like, I guess it was just one of those things where it was just on that verge of, like, maybe he's just a crazy old guy with, like, a few screws loose. And then I think eventually it just got a little too much, and enough people had enough, like, uncomfortable, bizarre stories that it was like, okay, this guy's a danger to us and probably himself as well. And fired him and called security in for a few weeks.
Yeah, dude, I would not call security on this guy. He's too big of a douche. Like, he doesn't own a gun. I don't think he's ever shot a gun. He's just an idiot.
Yeah.
And I think everybody knows it, but it's just like, dude, shut the fuck. And I tried helping him. I did, you know, like, all right, this is a coworker of mine. I gotta, like, help him. So the one time I tried to fucking help him, he would not shut the fuck up and let me show him what to do. He instead decided to point out all the flaws that were already there. I'm like, look, that is not our job. This is our job. He's like, well, that should be our job, and we should report this. Like, motherfucker. Oh my god, I'm done. I'm done with you. Go away. I did try. And now, he's like, hey, can I see what you're doing? I straight up was like, no. Because all you want to do is tell me what to do, and you don't know what to do, and you shouldn't be telling anyone what to do. So no, you can't sit next.
That reminds
me. Everyone looked at me like, "Damn, dude, this is a little cold."
I like to think you got that from me. That was the lesson. The lesson you learned about me from long ago. Hey, can I see that Super Mario strategy guide? No.
Right, no.
I was such a little dick, man.
No, but I mean, it's just...
It's so funny, though.
I don't know, dude. It's just... Look, when you're hired to do a job, what the fuck to do coming in? Because I do not have the time, the patience. Like, I got enough work to do. Training you is not on my fucking job description. Pay to do it. I didn't know what to do coming into this because everybody... So, fuck. Get it done. Stop being an idiot. Know what the fuck to do, and don't act so fucking retarded.
You know, I feel very, very fortunate that I really love everyone I work with, man. I work with the best people. I will say that over and over.
He's the only guy of all the people I work with. I like everybody else I work with.
Yeah,
he's really big in a Jeep. So I've been this week with another. This other guy, this dude's fucking funny. He won the Powerball Works, and he's got like tons of money. His wife, Barrett 50 caliber.
Wait, hold on. You're starting to cut out. What did you say? His wife what?
His wife owns a Barrett 50 caliber. It's a $6,000 rifle.
Okay.
And he's like $7 a round, and she shoots him off like they're nothing. And he's just, you know, like, money is not an issue to him, but he's still kind of like, he doesn't just blow it, right? I mean, but dude, guys, that everybody, he just says some really fucking obscene shit, and everybody's like, dude, I can't believe you just got away with it. Thinks he's funny. He's just a cool guy. So, like, everybody I work with is fine, except this one guy.
Yeah.
One guy I can't stand.
That sucks.
Yeah, well, and I think everybody knows I don't like him because...
Wait, because what?
I make it pretty obvious. I'm like,
yeah, you would. You would.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's like... I mean, you don't know... You told me you don't know what you're doing on day one. I don't even know where to go from there.
Yeah, I think I'm very, very fortunate that we just don't hire people like that, other than Hubert. Oh shit, I shouldn't have said his name.
God, he even sounds like a child molester.
Oh man, he was yeah. He was the worst. But you know what? Everyone else, I seriously, I work with the best goddamn people in the world. They couldn't be better.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like
So,
just working with everyone that like everyone works hard. Like when nobody is just sitting there like doing nothing and everybody is like putting in good effort and getting good results. It's just, oh my god, it makes working a little more tolerable.
Yeah, most of the guys I work with, we also work really hard to get to that point where we like relax the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Except the one guy.
Yeah. Oh, what were you going to change the subject to?
I was going to say, I think the last we were on chat, it was one of those times we were... Do you remember that?
You're still breaking up a fair bit. Do I remember what?
We were talking about gun violence.
Oh, yeah, it's some... I mean,
Rasinka
there've been a few times.
Rasinka was saying that some of her friends about... Is Rasinka on, by the way?
She just said, "Hi, Zeus. Hi, Matt." She literally just chimed in.
What's up,
Is your connection to Discord, like, is it showing, like, good or bad? It seems like your connection to Minecraft is great, but, like, Discord, I don't know if it's me or you.
I don't know, probably me. So I actually did a little bit more, I don't want to say research, but, just gun violence. Mm-hmm. So I think the last were 33,000 deaths via gun violence.
Wait,
sound about right?
Where is that? Here?
The U.S. 33,000.
Yeah, that feels about right.
Okay. Oh, 28,000 of those were
self-inflicted?
Correct.
Huh.
And of the 5,000 homicides from gun violence, this is in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Of those 5,000 that were left, half of those, 5 cities. More.
Wait, half of those what? Man, I'm sorry, it's just cutting out really bad.
Half of those deaths have actually committed in 5 cities.
Hmm.
Chicago. I forget what the other. Boston, not Boston. I think St. Louis was the other one. Anyway, so half of all were committed in 5 of the highest crime cities in the country. 700 gun deaths actually occurred in the United States. Of those 25, I think 1,600 involved shootings. So those numbers are also calculated in there. So if you want to look at the action violence actually die from someone taking a gun out in public and killing a bunch of people, it's right around 2,000. And with 350 million people, your chances are pretty fucking small. But it makes a big deal on the news. So,
yeah.
They're thinking that, you're going to get shot coming to America. It's just not accurate.
Well, if anything, it makes more of an argument against arming teachers with weapons in schools.
Well, yeah, I mean...
It's like, well, you got to weigh it. It's like, okay, so, the numbers, when you break it down, are definitely, the statistics are very low considering the population numbers. But let's imagine now you start arming teachers. How much do you really reduce that? And how much do you add to it with accidental?
Correct.
I mean, that's like, you got to do that kind of math, and nobody wants to do that math. I think they like the fantasy of like, oh, if we just have guns everywhere, everyone's just going to be protecting themselves, and it's going to be awesome. We'll all defend ourselves. And instead, it's like, well, okay, but how many people are going to accidentally, you know, like pick it up and like shoot themselves in the face, or, you know, worse yet, the stories you hear in the news of like a 3-year-old coming over to their uncle's house, grabbing a loaded gun off of the table and shooting and killing their father, which is a literal story that was in the news.
It doesn't happen often, but you're absolutely correct. It does happen.
But yeah, just like, you know, the chance of homicide, you know, doesn't happen. You know, it's almost like which one. How do you get the lowest net number of deaths? And I think it's reduce the number of guns, because I think it is disproportionately gun deaths are coming from accidental. I mean, you know, if self-inflicted wounds are really such a huge portion, that's a whole other issue in and of itself.
So really high in the States, 28,000 people. So, anyways, the whole reason I bring this up is because if anyone doesn't want to come visit the state, I want everyone to get like the facts. And they're actually available if you want to look them up yourself on FBI. So they're available on the FBI. Have their reportable offenses. So come visit the United States. We're not. All
right, here I'm gonna just quickly. I'm gonna try to. My Discord is looking good, but I'm gonna leave real quick. I'm gonna reboot it and see if it gets better. So 1 second, quit Discord. And how are you doing, by the way, Rasinka? Sorry, me and Matt were in the middle of a intense conversation. But yeah, how are you doing tonight? Okay. Yeah, that's true, Rosika. You know, fortunately, there are very clear portions of our country you can just steer clear of, and you know, generally speaking, you go to, you know, the big cities and everything, and you know, I think things are a lot better. But things are really, really bad in certain places, you know, especially those rural southern communities. And yeah, that's where I wouldn't blame someone for not really wanting to visit there. Might not be so friendly to them. Alright, I am back in. Let's see if this is any better. Maybe.
Alright, I need to take the dog out real quick.
Okay, it's not any better. That's lovely.
Alright, BRB.
Yeah, that's... I agree with you, Bird. It's weird. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's fair to say America as a whole is just a vicious place of bigotry. It's really not. I mean, especially in like certain areas of the country. I mean, you know, think about places where, you know, they've legalized weed, they have, you know, unisex bathrooms, and like a lot of places are very, very progressive, and I would say would rival, you know, even the most progressive European countries. But yeah, from the new, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the internet magnifies everything. I mean, you know, day-to-day life, I just notice the people I interact with, I don't, on average, like normal people that you're talking to face-to-face, like take the internet out of the equation, you definitely hear way less like racist and sexist language than you heard in the past. I mean, there's a marked difference today from 20 years ago. Like when I talk to coworkers, you know, even when they feel like they're in a safe space to like, oh yeah, I can talk cool bro talk. It's definitely improving, like in total. But there are definitely those areas of the country, like in the, you know, in the deep south, and just where it's just so systemic and just rooted in the history of the I don't know. There are some places that it's really bad, but a lot of places where, you know, I think people are very accepting compared to what they were, you know, 20 years ago. Yep, and that's why I am drawing that distinction, Bird. I'm very, very carefully saying that, you know, it's all about geography and where you're talking about in the country. And I mean, there are a large block of areas that are, you know, they're more or less, I'm sure, everything they're made out to be in the news. Yeah, see, Portland's a good place. Anywhere you go in California, you know, it's about as tolerant of a place as a place could be, I feel like. You know, there's definitely, you're not gonna feel nowhere near the type of, like, you know, outward racism that you might get in a place like, well, let's just say any number of cities or towns across the South. And it's like the southeast. It's like kind of everything from Texas to Florida and up into the middle. But it's like all the coastal areas are pretty much, you know, chill as fuck.
And the mountains. I would argue the mountains are...
Yeah, people that live in mountainous areas also are chill as fuck. I mean, yeah, it's... I don't know. I think it's a very big, gray, muddy topic.
What's that?
Oh, just the general topic of, you know, Rusinka mentioned that, you know, the reason she doesn't want to come here is because of the growing hatred of women and LGBT people.
But
man, what I'm
so
just making the point that that is true of specific areas of the United States, but, you know, talk about, there's big portions of the country like California and, you know, basically any coastal area, any, you know, like Colorado, the state you live in, I think would rival some of the most progressive European countries as far as like their tolerance and acceptance and everything.
Are you kidding? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We actually have, I think, more capita than any other state.
More what?
So, transgender.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sorry, my entire family is surrounding me now.
So
hi, Nolan.
That's a way, Russ, but I definitely don't see that at all. Where I work, I have three transgender.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we actually gender neutral bathrooms in our building.
Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of those pop up all over the place. It's just, I think it's just the general lesson of, you know, if the internet and the news is, it's just not a good place to, you know, base, you know, to get a good dose of like what the actual day-to-day reality is. It definitely highlights the worst of the worst. That's for sure, and there's a disproportionate focus on that. And again, I will just say one more time, there are areas of the country that are very much as bad as they're made out to be.
Yes.
Racism is very rampant in parts of the country, but it's just, there's not a whole lot of other countries like, I think the U.S. in just how spread out it is, and how like one corner of the country can be like almost polar opposite of the other. I mean, I'm sure you get that in other countries, but we're just so spread out geographically too that, you know, you just have that huge variance. And
that, you know, that makes me very upset that people would be afraid to come here because they, you know, that you know.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I do the same exact thing, man. I hear about certain places on the news and I think, you know, I don't want to go there. That sounds like a really bad place. And you know what? I'm probably hearing, you know, exceptionally bad stories, you know, because that's the kind of shit that makes the news.
Like where?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You think about just certain countries, you know, maybe South American countries that are dealing with, you know, insane drug violence and stuff like that. And, you know, obviously people visit all the time and it's fine, but, you know, I see this kind of stuff on the news and I certainly make the same judgments. So I wouldn't say anyone's wrong. I would just say, as someone that lives here and sees the same news that other people see, it's not quite as like straightforwardly just bigotry all over the place like the news would make you think. There really are truly tolerant places.
Regardless, that still makes me that's truly sad that, you know, that we.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, Rosinka said, I'd not go to China or Russia, for example. Yeah, kind of same here.
Yeah, but if you lump the entire, that really sucks.
I mean, you know, I'm just saying, I can understand. Like, I think you can think of somewhere in the world where you'd be guilty of the same thing, or you'd go anywhere.
Right, but I would.
Or would you go to Syria?
Well, fuck.
Would you go vacation in Syria?
No, well, that's a little different.
Oh, is it? I mean, we're talking the news here. What if the news made Syria look really bad and it's not so bad?
Okay.
I'm just being an asshole.
It just makes me a little.
I know.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. We really do make ourselves look really bad.
I don't think we do. I think.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, again, it's because it's just such a diverse set. But like, we live in an age of global media, right? Everyone has access to what's happening in every corner of the world. We're kind of, you know, geographically a large country. Like, we've got a lot of square miles and 300.5 million people. And, you know, there's a lot of shit that can rise to the surface and be very, very prevalent. Because that's, I mean,
that makes me sad.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like, I can't blame people, but I also, it does make me sad to think like, oh, please just don't think it's like this everywhere, because it's not. Like, if we were like 4 separate countries, I think, you know, maybe 2 of those countries would be like super progressive, accepting of everyone. Oh, awesome. And the other 2 would be like, you know, fascist havens of just hatred.
I don't even think it's that bad. I think that's just says where you hear about it makes the news.
Yeah.
I really just don't think it's that bad. It, you know, sucks to hear that other people think it is.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, so hold on. You know, Bird says, I wouldn't go to North Korea. Yes, I would not go there. I certainly would not. Rasinka says, people say they'll never come to Australia because of our wildlife.
What?
Dude, yes. People say that all the time because of the spiders. The dinner plate spiders, she says, and the deadly snakes. I mean, it's come up many times on the stream.
It's a totally different thing when you're afraid of giant fucking being persecuted. Your gender
I don't know. Is it really that different?
Yes, it fucking huge. I
don't know, man. I mean, we're talking about our safety and comfort in a broad sense under both.
No, totally disagree.
I mean, it's a different type of safety and discomfort, but definitely the spiders give me. If I could get some kind of a guarantee, like, hey, I'm going to go stay in a hotel. We have very strong anti-spider measures. You know, there will not be any spiders that will crawl around in your hotel room and sleep on your face.
It's not the same.
Then I'd be like, okay. But if that same person said, like, you know, look, there's a 75% chance you're going to wake up with a spider sleeping on your face, I would say, okay, no thank you. There are other places I would rather visit.
Anti-persecution laws, no matter what race, gender, or
yeah,
race
that's true. I mean, yeah, we do have, you know, legislation, you know, protecting against hate crimes and stuff, and it's fairly decent in a lot of areas, but really, really weak in others.
It's universal. If you assault somebody...
Well, yeah, if you assault somebody. But there's more subtle things, you know, like denying people access to your business and things like that, that certain states do everything they can, you know, to not comply with that kind of stuff.
Right, and that's what sucks, is that it's that's prevalent here.
So, Bird, don't remind me of it. How is it? Horses kill more people every year in Australia. Yeah, that's right. Well, you did share that recently. And Bird says, as someone who's both persecuted by the local human population and also afraid of spiders, I'd say the fear is equal. It's a different type of fear, but the fear is equal. I'm sad, but also want to laugh at the same time, because that's really sad. But
it is very sad.
Kind of funny in a sad kind of way.
Man, I think very.
How many white? So Rosinka says, how many white cops have killed black people and got away with it? I mean,
a lot.
A lot. And I think that is rapidly changing. I mean, the police departments are. I think from where we were again, I think 10 years ago even, you know, body cameras are becoming mandatory all over the place. You know, I think it's been a real problem, and I think it's kind of one of those things where through just societal pressure and just all of the horrific things that have happened, enough people are finally fed up enough to get broad support for doing stuff about it.
But I mean, how many cops have been killed, white cops even, for just right? It's bad people doing bad things to humans too.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the two are kind of separate.
Oh, but spiders and fucking discrimination against sex.
No, you know, don't look over here.
I don't know. I wish we were thought of.
Yeah.
That people are like, okay, they have laws there.
Yeah.
They're, you know, and that, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially where I don't see it anywhere. Not anywhere.
Well, but there is the very true point that Bird brings up, that, you know, there's a lot of things we all do equally, but black people get incarcerated way more often. That is a statistical fact, and that's definitely, like, you know, it's a hard thing to reconcile. Like, there's no doubt that when you just consider the overall numbers and statistics, like, yeah, we've got kind of an issue with that. You know?
Okay.
It's definitely like, you know, we have not gotten to a point where where everyone views everyone else as equal. Like, there are clearly people that are oppressed. Like, I mean, just by the numbers, it's an irrefutable fact.
Perfect. We're not perfect.
But yeah, I would say, you know, again, it's
because I'm afraid of being persecuted. That's stuff.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think that's something that is prevalent. You know, I don't know. I don't want to come off the wrong way, but it is a problem we have, and I think it is a problem that a whole lot of countries have, but it's kind of framed, you know, differently. You know, culture is completely different from our own. Like, I just feel like there's always that sense of, you know, othering people that aren't like you, and saying, like, you know, we're the better race, we're the dominant race, you know, these people are beneath us.
You know,
like, yes, it is a problem here, but I do think
say the same thing in Norwegian countries about they fucking hate Muslims.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, even the really progressive countries, there are, I mean, you've heard about it in Sweden. You know, there's a very sizable group of virulently racist people, and just some of the same shitty stuff going on there that goes on here. So I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's one of those universally ugly things, and, you know, we're definitely
prevalent.
It's bad. It's a problem we have. I'm not saying that we don't have that problem, but,
and I'm not saying we're perfect, but that really shouldn't scare people away, or at least I hope it wouldn't scare people away.
Yeah. well, you know what? Everyone has their own, reasons and priorities, and I can't begrudge someone for,
I think it's a good eye-opener.
Different things hold different level of importance.
I think it's good.
And are more visible to different people.
It's good to get feedback. Hey,
Yeah.
You guys this way. It's like, oh man, fuck. That sucks.
And then
I don't know.
Rosinka says it's more not wanting to support that any more than you have to. I mean, I guess that'd be an interesting question. What kind of numbers does Australia have for, white police officers killing, or just take the same situation? I'd be curious if, how bad are we? How bad are we by comparison? I'm sure pretty bad, because I don't think I've ever heard a single story in the news of an Australian cop killing anyone, let alone, murdering a black person who's sitting there with their hands up doing what the cop is telling them.
But those people are...
Are what?
They're facing justice. They're going through our legal process.
I would really argue about justice being done to police officers that have done that kind of stuff. Very, very few of them have actually been prosecuted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been huge news, the 3 or 4 that have.
Yeah. It still sucks to hear that that's how we're viewed.
We have a fucking problem. And, I guess I would say, especially because of the way we arm our police force, I'm willing to bet our police violence problem is way higher.
But we're getting a lot better. I would have to argue that we are more 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago. I'd still say we're better.
Yeah.
So.
But we're still shitty. We're better, but still shitty. Rasika says she'd rather go to a place like Scotland. I don't know Scotland well enough. It seems like a nice place. I've never heard anything bad about Scotland. I haven't heard about any of the Scottish Nazis or anything like that, so that's good.
Fucking Ireland, dude. The IRA. You want to talk about some crazy motherfuckers? Holy shit! Who do you think taught the ISIS and Taliban how to fucking kill people? The IRA. They took it right out of their fucking playbook.
Didn't we teach them?
No, we didn't.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not ISIS. We taught Al Qaeda.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or the Taliban, or whatever, whichever one. I don't.
No. So another quick change of subject. I have been watching I kind of watch the polls regularly, see where everybody's sitting. Pete Buttigieg, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
But seeing that Elizabeth Warren is now second in the polls.
Oh, wow.
And I gotta say, that's
what?
pretty scary.
I mean, other than her whole Native American heritage thing.
That's a big fucking problem.
Yeah, I don't know. My whole sensors are all calibrated differently because of the president we have now. So it's like...
yeah, but you're trading one hack liar in for another.
Yeah, I don't know. Because
I will do anything to get this guy out of office, even if it means voting for somebody who is just as crooked.
I wouldn't call that just as crooked. I mean, that's literally the only scandal.
That's a pretty big fucking scandal. Hey, I got into one of the most prestigious universities in the country by lying about my ethnicity.
Bone spurs. That's just one of many.
Oh yeah.
That's just one of many. I'm just saying. If I'm faced with that choice, it is a very easy fucking decision. I will take that. Depending on how you look at it, that fucked up thing over the
Really?
literal hundreds of fucked up things that.
But that's like the lesser of two shitty evil.
Dude, that's democracy in America. That is literally
sandwich and a giant douche.
Dude, that's... I mean, you can be mad about it all you want. That's the reality we're stuck with, man. I'm playing the game that's in front of me. I'm not playing the ideal game that I think it should be, because that's never going to happen. I have to work with the shit I'm given.
But I'm not going to just vote for somebody because I don't like the guy who's in charge right now. I will tell you right now, and I hate to say
No,
this.
it's not just that.
I
support
not
her.
vote for her. If she runs, I will not vote for her.
I support her policies way more than I support Donald Trump's. I mean, it's beyond just that.
Will not vote for her. Will not vote for her. Sorry, I can't.
Okay.
I just couldn't do it.
You'd vote. Would you vote for Donald Trump? I would hope you'd vote for a third candidate because, again, to be consistent, it'd be very hypocritical to say that you would vote for him but not for her, just by the sheer math of it all.
Yes, I would vote for a third party rather than vote for either one of them, which is kind of handing a vote to, one or the other. But I will not vote for her. Period. I will not vote for her because she's not that him. That's a shitty argument.
She would not necessarily be my choice, because I have a problem with that, and it also makes me nervous about would have not as bad as Hillary Clinton, but I think she'd have a similar electability problem because there are enough people. I know it's considered taboo to want to court the middle as either side really.
Yeah.
But I mean, the sad reality is you got to do some of the, if you want to win the numbers game and get the votes. I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
But isn't
I know a lot of people say I think there are certain much further left candidates that would get broad support. I think that is a truth, but
isn't that kind of a little bit hypocritical? It's I won't vote for him because he's a liar and a hack and all this stuff.
That's not the only reason. It's also his policies. It's literally he's a complete package of shit where it's I have this one thing that bothers me about her, but if I consider everything else, all the dimensions of a character and what they would do and the policies they would support, dude, that's an easy fucking choice.
See, it's not easy in my opinion.
I mean, I'm sorry.
I wouldn't again, vote for either one. I would
consider
vote for a third party.
You got to consider just all of the factors at play.
I will not vote for somebody just because I want to see someone lose and give up.
That's not why I'm.
And forego
that's not why. It's not just that.
It's her policy.
Okay.
Is what you're saying. Is what you're saying.
Yep. I mean, it's Democrats versus Republicans. You're going to have one versus the other. The only choice we actually have is to vote for which party we support.
No.
It's the primary. I mean, it is in the primaries where you do your damnedest to get that right person in front. But in the general election, man, that is the reality. I don't care what you say. You can be as idealistic as you want, but man, I'm pragmatic. If you have a situation in front of you, if your two options are lose your arm or you lose your leg,
or how about vote for who you want to actually vote for?
What good does that do other than making you feel good about yourself? What good does that do?
That's exactly what it does. It's your choice.
Okay. And if that makes you feel good about yourself, then it is the right decision for you.
No.
I would not feel good about myself because I would want to know that my vote went towards something that is going to move the needle in the direction I would prefer to see it moved. And there's just
even if it means that person is on the opposite end of the spectrum, but also a liar and a hack, and is going to be just as controversial. And
you can't stack the two up. I mean, literally, yes, you can say this is a big issue, but you're literally talking about one big issue versus I don't even know what the number is on the other side. I mean, we're talking corruption and fraud and running a fraudulent charity, and that's just one of a billion things.
But again, that's because he's been in office for 4 years. What happens when she gets in office for 4 years and the same shit comes?
Dude, there was.
Isn't she also guilty of all the same things you just mentioned?
No. Again,
fraud, corruption, setting up things and getting rewards.
There's degrees to all of this. There's degrees to all of this. I mean, you can be binary. Again, it's your opinion. You can be binary about it if you want and say, they're both 1 and not 0. And I'm saying more like, yeah, one of them is like a 3 and the other one is like, a 14 on a scale of 10.
On a scale of 10, which one's the 14?
You can't. Donald Trump?
Oh, I wasn't sure if like 10 was bad or 1 was.
Oh no, 10 was bad. I'm saying like.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not arguing your general point that like, these are, what she's done is a legit issue and it's something that, you do not want to support. Like that general point, yeah, sure. That makes sense to me, but it's more like, I'm just saying the reality of the situation.
In my eyes, what she did is equivalent to setting up a chair. Some of the things that Donald Trump has done. Some. Being a liar, being a hack, stealing, fraud.
Wait, stealing?
Yeah, getting a full scholarship to a prestigious university by lying about your background. That's fraud.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I would have to read up. I don't watch a lot of Fox News, so I don't hear all of the horrific things she's done as I've heard it. Like, yeah, she falsified some stuff, but she didn't get like, millions of dollars of scholarships off of that. I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
No. She went to Brown University on a full ride because she claimed she was Native American.
Okay. Well,
that's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, she is 1%.
Less than that, 0.5%.
Well, it's just, it's only 99.5% of a lie.
Dude, come on.
Come on. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying.
That's so bad. Like, I can't see, like, I hate him so much, but, this other person also did these horrible things, but it's better than than him.
Rosinka, Matt's talking about Elizabeth Warren. She's a
candidate.
She's what, second, you said?
Second in the polls right now.
In the polls, and
for the Democratic nomination.
She claimed Native American heritage, and
she had none.
And used that credential to get some sort of assistance. Again, I've heard
tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in assistance.
Okay. I mean, yeah, she definitely did some shit, and it's kind of crazy to me to think that seems like a good person, with everything that happened with Hillary. Let's put another person that has this big freaking sore thing that stands out that everybody is going to remember, and someone like Donald Trump is going to he's going to destroy her. As much as I hate the guy,
he is.
It's going to be that thing that, and people are going to eat that shit up, and it's just, I don't know, man. I just have a bad feeling about how it plays out if it ends up.
I do too.
As her.
I do too. I'm not going to lie.
But I'm going to do everything I can to, it's like, do you support the empire or the rebellion?
It's not even the rebellion, though.
I may not like that fish guy, but I'll take the rebellion over the empire any day.
It's not the fucking same.
It is. It's exactly the same.
I just have I just can't see her winning the nomination. I can't. She won't win. If she goes against Donald Trump, he will fucking destroy.
Well, I don't know, man. That dude has really fired up a lot of people, and I think there are going to be a whole lot of people like me that are like, fuck, man, I would really love to have that really good candidate that doesn't have any big scandal that someone can point out, but also has great policy. I want that more than anything.
I'm telling you, look at Pete Buttigieg. The guy is awesome. He's one of the first openly gay mayors.
He sounds great.
Claims like a Christian. He speaks 4 languages.
He sounds great.
Like, the guy, he's a veteran of 2 tours. Like, that guy is like, when he talks, like, he is a politician. He's a leader. He's a guy who's like, all right, guys, we have our disagreements between Republicans and Democrats, but we have to learn to talk to one another. Like, that's what we need.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if he doesn't get the nomination, I'm still fucking voting for him.
Yeah, I just... What are people thinking? What are people thinking, like, oh yeah, Elizabeth Warren, it's her time. I'm like, no, like, it's just common sense common sense should tell everyone, like, dude, she fucked up. Like, she fucked up bad enough, and she did it herself. Like, she could have kept that shit quiet, and it wasn't like, you know, she was trying to, like, get things off her chest or whatever. Like, she literally, it was just such an act of stupidity. It just blows my mind. And not just that, you know, it did reveal that, oh, wow, this is actually really messed up. You know, what she did.
So, my conscience says, you know, I would rather have... I think some people are like, you know, she's a woman. It's time for a woman to be president. I agree. It is. But I want the right woman to be president. I want a woman who has leadership qualities, that doesn't have this huge, dark past and just this massive fuck-up hanging on her record.
Well, again,
and I feel like she agrees with a lot of things that, like, Bernie says, just because Bernie said it.
No,
like,
I don't know.
I haven't heard her I haven't heard her do a lot of things that are original, other than, like, going after the credit card companies and big business. Like, she definitely pisses a lot of people off.
Well, Rasinka says, why? It being the right man never mattered. I mean...
The right man.
Well, you said you want it to be the right woman. I mean,
it does matter to me.
She's kind of got.
Absolutely matter.
Kind of got a point. I mean, not necessarily you personally, but, like, you know, I don't know. I do think there is a prevalent a tendency for people to say, if we're gonna have the first woman president, like, oh, she needs to be super exemplary, and it's like, when you look at it at a man.
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, think about it. People look at a guy like Donald Trump, who literally has, like, magnitudes more scandal and immoral and corrupt things that he's done, and people, I mean, I think with a lot of people there would be the tendency to say, oh, what she did was so much worse, and I could never support that, and vote for Donald Trump.
I wouldn't vote for either one.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
And that's a huge problem, because
I think the second you say, I refuse to vote for her, I will vote for Donald Trump instead, then that's like, okay, well, you're a straight up hypocrite, but you're not saying that.
No,
you are saying you would not vote for either, and I'll at least give you credit that you're being consistent.
And honestly, like, I wouldn't have voted for Bush. I wouldn't have voted for Clinton, his second term. Well, no, not his second term, but he did some fucked up shit. Like, that dude should have been impeached. But he was actually a pretty good guy. Like, his policies were good. I mean, he actually did some pretty good things for the country.
Well, but in retrospect, he also did some really bad things.
Yeah, he did. He really, really did. He should have been impeached. But again, I'm not saying that it has to be this perfect woman, the right woman, but a woman who can at least withstand, or man, a person that can withstand the media, that can bring the parties together, that can
Obama. You are describing Obama to a T.
So what I did not like about Obama is he definitely did some things that pissed Republicans off and really gave birth to Donald Trump. He really did. Yeah,
but you know what? He was trying to get the things done that he was elected to get done.
Right.
And sometimes sometimes people don't like it when they don't get their way. And I mean, did he do anything illegal?
No.
Like, I mean, boo-hoo. They didn't like what Obama did. Like, He literally did what he was elected to do. Like, I don't like Donald Trump. He's doing what he was elected to do.
There were some things that I did not like at all about Obama, but I will say this about him. He was a good person. He was a great father, and he was overall a good person. I just did not agree with a lot of his policy.
I did. Well, again, I'm always thinking, what can someone realistically do in the world we live in with the rules that we have to play by? And unfortunately, I would love
the healthcare thing.
Yeah, I know. I would love a perfect candidate that like hits all those things just right and gets it done and brings the parties together. But come on, be realistic. Like,
I think Pete Buttigieg can do it. I really do. I know that sounds crazy, and I know I'm talking this guy up. But if you listen to what he says, like, he is the guy I think that could actually do it.
Well,
he talks about a civil conversation between both sides. That we're not going to agree on everything, but there's some things that we can get done, like an aid package to Puerto Rico, right? Like most sides agreed that's probably needs to happen, or selling arms to Saudi Arabia. Like, both sides agreed that we shouldn't do that shit, right? So there are some things that we agree on that we can come to the table with. One of the things I didn't like about Obama is he didn't have the support of the Republicans for this healthcare package. We need it.
There was no version of it that they would support. I mean, they made it clear before the negotiations even began, we will not work with you on any of this.
Then he shouldn't have pushed it.
Dude, it was his signature thing that he ran on.
And now look where we're at.
Better than we were before that law passed. The people dying, being denied coverage because of pre-existing conditions, like, and I think
we're back there now because he pissed off one party. They now have control.
I don't know. I refuse to blame him for that. I blame the party that got pissed off for that, because that's just being unreasonable to me, you know.
Well, there is some unreasonableness.
I don't know that, you know, people have healthcare is
things. Yeah. He should have pushed things that both sides could agree on, not one side could agree on, because that partisan policy.
Again, I'm going to live in the real world, and there was nothing that any Democrat, especially Obama, could have put forward that any Republicans would have signed on to. They made it clear, no matter what he put out, they were not going to work on it.
I think it was the mandatory tax that really killed it for a lot of people, that really kind of like, you know, pissed a lot of people off. But what I will say, one funny thing that I still get a chuckle out of is everybody claims about this witch hunt and no president's ever been persecuted so much and blah, blah, blah. Motherfucker, remember the birth certificate thing?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, I remember that.
Like, that was some pretty dumb shit. Like, that still makes me laugh. It's like, you guys don't remember yourselves in this birth certificate thing? You literally accused him of being born in another fucking country. And then, like, tried to impeach his ass because he wouldn't give up his fucking birth certificate. And yet, fucking Trump will give up his taxes? Like, come the fuck on. Like, grow up.
Yeah, I will say, I think the difference between me and you fundamentally is that you evaluate someone on an absolute scale in a vacuum. I evaluate someone on a relative scale in the world we live in.
Oh, okay. I totally disagree with you.
Well, no, I mean,
do not evaluate someone in a vacuum. That's baloney.
No, I'm just saying, you know, it's another way of saying you're a very principled person.
Okay.
Like, you're literally saying, you know, again, I think the Elizabeth Warren thing is an example. You're saying this is an absolute, like, what she did was unacceptable. And
I'd vote for Bernie Sanders.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that proves or disproves what I'm saying, but I'm saying, like, my difference is, like, you know, on an absolute scale, like, yes, this person sucks, but I inevitably, because it's the reality of the world, I judge people on a relative scale. Like, if I have two choices, I mean, just with anything in life, if I have two choices, I'm going to take the choice I prefer the most. Yes, I do.
That's
what? How do I not have two choices?
You can vote for anybody you want to,
dude,
just like I can.
Okay, and what's going to be the result if I vote for the one of the not two choices? That person will not win. Statistically speaking, you will never see an independent, a Green Party, anyone that is not one of those two parties win. It is not going. It is statistically impossible.
For the person who you thought would best be able to lead the country. That's all that matters.
Right, and I think that proves my point. There are difference in perspective. I'm judging people on a relative scale in the reality of the world. You are judging people on an absolute scale in a vacuum, which is literally like in a vacuum, taking all other factors off the table. Yes, you vote for the best person, the person that's going to be able to lead best. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying, like, it's a difference in perspective. I look at it a slightly different way, and I just say, well, the actual choice, if I'm going to make a decision that is going to actually affect any change in the world, any practical change in the world, if my choice is going to contribute to any realistic change happening, I have two choices.
But that in itself is a flawed argument.
It's not. It is a fact.
Flawed argument.
It's based in reality. There is no chance. Statistically speaking, there is no chance that a vote.
And if we continue to think like that, it will continue to happen.
I mean, I admire your idealism. I admire it. I wish everybody could rise up and take that same idealism and change the world. Do you think that's going to happen? Do you see a realistic path towards that ever happening? I'm just going to flat out tell you it is not. It is not.
If enough people like you and me stood up and said, or even went to the polls and said, you know what, I'm going to vote for the person who I think can do the best job, and in a vacuum, all things aside, not a relative scale of who's done worse. Like I get it. Like that's kind of the position.
That is the biggest if I have ever heard, because I love the romanticism. I think it's awesome. Like, man, I sure love the idea that you're putting forward. Like, I would sign on to that. I'm just saying, I can 100% promise you it will never happen.
It just makes me feel gross. It's like, well, they're the lesser of two evils.
You know what?
I have to vote for them because I only have two choices. You don't.
It can make you feel that way. I don't think you're wrong for feeling that way. I'm just, dude, we have a short time on this earth. Do I want to like focus my decisions in life and the choices I make on something that are going to actually have some kind of tangible change, or am I not?
But how is that changing one shithead for another? That's not changing the status quo. That's keeping it the same.
No, it's not.
It is.
Even if it's not the change you want to see. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Changing the status quo is about changing the status
sometimes
quo.
You have to change it a step at a time and take the tiniest of victories. Victories so small that
but what happens
they're
when
hardly
Elizabeth
even victories
Warren
at all.
Wins by a small margin and she does a shit show job.
I don't know. It's nothing as bad as what happened with someone winning by not even winning the popular vote and doing so.
But again, when the Democrats had control of the government, they did not change the way we voted. They kept it the same.
And the Republicans have not changed it either.
Right. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. It's not going to change. There's just a very real reality in front of us.
So the popular vote has nothing to do with.
I just use that as an example to discredit your point.
Oh, okay. All I'm saying is if you want to change the status quo and you want to make a positive change in the world for the short time we have on here, then maybe it's start talking like, hey, you know what? No, I am going to actually stand up and do something different. I'm not going to vote for this person. I'm going to vote for this other person who I think would do a better job.
And you know what? That can make you feel good about yourself, and there's nothing wrong. Hey, we live our lives for different reasons. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, you know what? I'm on my deathbed. I was a principled man. I stuck to my convictions. I don't think that's noble as hell, man. I'm just saying, when I'm on my deathbed, my fundamental perspective is just a little different. I want to be able to say that this, you know, I did the best I could with what I had in front of me, and you know, I made hard decisions, and maybe it didn't get the outcome I wanted, but shit, man, it at least, even if only a tiny bit, it at least moved the needle in the right direction. I mean, when you only have two choices, yeah.
You don't only have two choices.
From my perspective, you do.
But no.
From my perspective,
but here's my big concern, right? Elizabeth Warren wins, and she does some things like she's very anti-big business, very anti-credit card. Like,
sure,
she could easily piss a lot of people off. She becomes president.
Like Donald Trump easily pissed a lot of people off. Okay, go ahead.
Correct. Exactly like Donald Trump. So she becomes the next Donald Trump.
That's not going to happen. There is nobody that can match. Okay. There's nobody that can match that. So I get what you're saying.
So she pisses a lot of people off. If Donald Trump comes back and wins a re-election because he runs against her, he can run again.
Sure.
And he would. Absolutely he would. And then we're back in the same shit show problem we had.
Sure.
Except this time.
But how does me voting for an independent... what if me voting for an independent could be what makes that happen?
I mean, I definitely... I see what you're saying. I just can't stomach...
That's fine. You're a principled man. Like, you got your principles.
It feels like it's like...
Hey, I get it.
I'm gonna vote for this party no matter what. Why? When has that ever been a requirement?
Hey, dude, I admire you. Were very noble in the. You're just, you know. I'll give you that. You have integrity with your convictions and everything, integrity. Man. I just
like shit, I will not vote for just a Republican because he's a Republican. That's just stupid. Why the fuck would I? Yeah. I want someone who's going to balance the budget, who's going to cut back on programs we need to, even if it's the military, to just make a better way of life for everybody, who can bring parties together, may not agree on everything, but not force things down people's throats.
I mean, hey, I have different priorities. If I think about which direction I want the needle to be moved, like there are two choices in front of me.
The needle can swing back the other direction with drastic change.
You can never predict the future, but I can tell you one thing. There's two choices in front of me. One choice, we end up with like better wages in general. I think that's a positive. We end up with a better healthcare system, something that actually does a better job at ensuring that every American can have health care, and hopefully for a lot cheaper than it is today. Like, that's a good thing. They would prefer to continue to let women make the choice of, how they want their pregnancy to go. I'd say that's a good thing. The other party is going to move the opposite way on those issues and many, many others. I mean, obviously I could go on and on. And when I'm faced with those two choices and two potential outcomes, it's an easy choice for me.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see. I can see why it's an easy choice, because you want to see us move in the right direction. I think we both want the same thing. I just won't settle for less.
Dude, we will only, whichever direction that people want to go, you will only get where you want to go one step at a time. It is not. I'm sorry. This is where I got to be realistic. There is not going to be that candidate that is magically going to just get us there. It's going to happen one ugly step at a time, and a step backwards here and there, like we got with Donald Trump.
Right. But I don't want to step backwards. I want to step forward.
I know. No, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe if enough people got together and said enough's enough.
Maybe
we're not going to vote.
How do we make that happen? Bird,
go to
Rasinka, it's time for everyone else to chime in. We've talked enough. Bird, Rasinka, Tagson, what do you guys think? How do we get everyone to come together and say the two-party system is done? We want actual choices in our candidates. Let's all. How do we make this happen? Because if we could make it happen, and I could see some real evidence, some quantitative data showing, oh my God, this is a real possibility, then yeah, I now have 3 choices, or maybe even more. And then I make the best of those 3 choices. I mean, that's how the game works.
The primaries, right? You
right.
definitely get that during the primary.
Oh yeah. And again, we're in agreement in the primaries. Like, yeah, I'll vote for
so if
what's his name?
If you saw Biden and Warren at the top of the list, right? And Buttigieg was third, like a not so distant third, like maybe 5-6 points down. Who would you? I mean, and let's say Buttigieg was everything I was telling you he was, and everything I make him out to be. Would you vote for him?
I don't know. I would need a calculator.
Yeah, knowing that you only have.
It's all about the numbers. It's all about the numbers, man. But at this point, right? Like Donald Trump's out of the picture, the Republican candidate's out of the picture. Now it really comes down to you just picking who you think is the best person. So now you really do have a choice. Yeah. So this
will make a positive choice.
This is where I would obviously spend some time doing some research and really getting up to speed on all the issues and the specific nuances that each candidate has on them. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm going to make the best decision given the choices I have.
Even if one person is much higher,
or what?
2 people are much higher in the polls than everybody.
I'm not sure what you mean.
So if 2 people were 10 points ahead of everybody else,
yeah,
would you pick one of those 2, or would you pick a distant third because you believe that they have the qualities to lead us?
It just depends on what state I'm voting in, where I am, what the actual chances. I mean, obviously pollsters have been proven wrong, but polling is good enough that, I mean, in almost every election and, every result, like, their predictions are within a close enough margin that it's something you could go off of. So I would certainly look at that, and I would say, like, given the margin of error and, the different types of polls, and, I would just try to make the best decision to say, is my vote realistically going to be a throwaway vote? And, if there's a chance
for whoever's going to win.
Well, if there's an actual chance that someone could win that I prefer, I'm going to vote for that person.
Okay. Hold on. Let me throw out a real extreme hypothetical. So,
and it depends on how good and bad each candidate is. If they're really close to each other, and I'm like, man, I'd be okay with any of these.
What if both?
It's a tough decision, man. It's a tough decision.
We're complete shitbags. I mean, complete shitbags. The 2 top choices, like, they just have some serious problems. But the distant third is a strong candidate. You're saying because it's mathematically throwing away a vote, you wouldn't vote for that distant third. You would vote for one of the shitbags.
Well, no. If they're both shitbags, no, I'm going to vote for the third one. But if it's like someone I really despise and is a shitbag that's in the lead, someone that is in second place who I'm like, you know what, not the biggest fan, but hey, I could do with this person, and someone in third place who's a distant third who I absolutely love, I'm going to vote for the guy in second.
Okay.
Again, it's not an easy decision. It's something you can't really genericize because it really does depend, who each candidate is, what their individual issues are, all that kind of stuff.
So you're more concerned about
Twet, thank you for the follow.
So you're more concerned about whether or not you were on the winning side.
No, not at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not concerned about being on the winning side at all. I am concerned about when it comes down to, if we are eventually getting down to, one choice or another, I'm going to pick, I want to make sure who's going up has the biggest chance of winning. So this is where we're talking about the Democratic primary. I would do everything I can at this point. Yeah, I would vote for, this Pete guy or whatever. I'm concerned enough about the issue with Elizabeth Warren making her much less likely to be electable that regardless of the numbers, I would probably vote for one of the other people because I think they're both fine. I may disagree with certain things that maybe Biden or Pete or whatever have, but I'm not gonna like outright hate either one of them. Like, they seem totally fine, and I think they would stand a better chance of like realistically getting elected than Elizabeth Warren. So, pick between one of them. It's solely to make sure that I just want to make sure, assuming that all the choices I still prefer, even the one I hate the most, I'm going to prefer them to the presumptive nominee on the other side. I just want to make sure that we have the highest chance of winning.
What if your nominee is just as big of a shitbag as the current president? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know, man.
I'm throwing out a hypothetical.
Just as big of, then maybe it becomes close to a coin toss. But
he has some of the he has policies that you agree with.
I mean,
somewhat.
Then
but he is still
again,
a complete.
I'm gonna make
or she.
Do I want to lose my entire arm or just my hand? I don't want either, but I'd like to have some of my arm. Thank you. So anyway, sorry, I gotta catch up on chat. Mandatory.
I want to hear it.
Mandatory accessible voting for a start. Says Rasunke.
I agree with that.
I don't know how I feel about mandatory voting, but I think I generally would fall in favor of. I mean, I don't know that I truly want people voting that don't care. But at the same time, it kind of fixes the issue of like voter suppression and everything, and I think I'd take that. If we could implement something like that guarantees voter suppression tactics go away, that's a positive change. And then Birdstar says we have to change how we count votes. Single transferable vote. I don't know exactly what that means. What a single transferable vote is. It's the only way to move forward with more than 2 parties and simplify the process. Tagson says, well, in Estonia, I've had this new system where we can vote online thanks to our ID cards. Hey, I mean, if they can get it secure enough,
that's my big concern.
I honestly, I think it could be a viable thing.
The only problem with online is how we vote as a country, because individual states vote, and then somebody certifies those votes, usually a state recorder. So each state would have to have their own system, right? Their own way of securing it.
Yeah. Well, Tagson says it is super secure, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it can be. It definitely can be done. Like, I know there have been a lot of major hacks, but there are also companies and software out there that has remained completely secure.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it's possible. I'm just saying it's possible.
When you're dealing with state actors, all bets are off.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I don't know.
Everyone says, "Oh, RSA is super secure," or 256-bit encryption's super secure, or like there's shit out there that people don't know, and it's terrifying because it's not secure. And if they want it bad enough, they'll get it. I guarantee it.
Yep. Well, good chat. We don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think we largely agree on some larger points, but I think we just have a slightly different philosophical stance on how choice works, and it's good to get different perspectives. I am very glad to hear you say, I know I won't vote for her, and I certainly won't vote for Trump either. That I'm just as long as I hear that.
That's I don't know how I feel about that. It's like, that makes you feel better knowing that you just won't vote for him. Why? Because...
Well, no, I'm just saying it gives some consistency to your argument.
Okay. I can...
I appreciate that you're being consistent, and sometimes, again, I like the victories I can get in life, and I feel like, hey, it's integrity. You're at least staying consistent with these different scenarios and how you would base your decision, and I think a lot of people wouldn't. I think a lot of people would be very, very hypocritical and say, you know, this, I don't know.
I gotta be honest though, when he was running Trump, I kind of liked his attitude and his I don't fucking care, I'm gonna do whatever I want sort of mentality. I know that sounds kind of crazy,
you
but
you like a bad boy. Yes, people like the bad boy mentality.
Kind of. I kind of expected something different, not at all what we got, which is, you know, definitely surprising. But looking at the latest polling, it's not looking good for him because he won
for Trump.
Yeah,
I know.
By 1%, I think, or Michigan by 1%. That's not a lot,
right?
At all.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and he has to,
you know,
all three.
He captured lightning in a bottle, but the Democratic base is more fired up than it's ever been, and I think this will be an election where more Democrats are going to be hyper aware of the whole, you know, like falling into the trap of needing someone that's ideologically pure. Like ideological purity, I think, is what has really like hurt our party in the past, and you know that. You know, there's too much of. I don't know how to put it into words exactly, but I think it's kind of what gave us Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
When too many people are, you know, again that they want that perfect candidate.
I was not at all a Hillary fan at all. Like hard no.
Yeah.
Would not vote for her. Now Michelle Obama, I would probably vote for. I liked her.
Hell yeah, man! She's amazing.
She was a pretty good first lady. I really liked her.
She's like she's an amazing person. Like seriously,
right.
She talk about someone that like what bad quality are you gonna find to say about that person? Man, now that's a candidate. Man, I wish she was in the running. Like, forget Elizabeth Warren. Give us Michelle Obama, God damn it.
Yeah, I would vote for Michelle. I liked Michelle.
Oh, dude, see, now you're my best friend again.
What, I wasn't before? What the fuck?
I'm just giving you shit.
She was, again.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. I appreciate
character
that you would say that, especially, you know, with, you know, you're admitting of not being the biggest fan of, you know, a lot of what Obama his policies have been and everything.
But again, it comes down to the person.
Yeah.
Right. It didn't say shit about her policies. Yeah. It didn't say shit about her you know, her laurels or the fact that she's a woman. Yeah. It all comes down to the quality of the thing that she brings to the table. That's it. That's all. That's my total calculus is what do you bring to the table.
She is a quality human being. Like, you look at her track record and what she has done, what she has contributed to the world. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Why do we not get candidates like that? I don't know. It fucking sucks.
That's my fucking
because
point,
I think there are so many people that. Well, I mean, she's not running that. But hypothetically, if she was, I feel like, again, there are so many camps of people that just demand ideological purity on their specific issues, and it's like...
But just because she's not running doesn't mean you can't vote for her.
I'm tempted.
I'm just saying.
I'm tempted.
It's the truth. But again, that comes down to what I was saying, is it doesn't matter your platform or that you're a woman or a man.
Yeah.
It comes down to you're a good human fucking
Well,
being.
Rasika says, but black and female, don't think you'll be able to sell that to average right-winger. So this is an example of where I don't know. I think she's would be very electable. I think she would win with a sizable lead. Because like you're right, you the average right-winger, you're not going to be, of course they're not going to vote for Michelle Obama. They're not going to vote for anybody unless you get like a Democrat that's damn near a Republican. But I think large swaths of the country feel exactly the same way we do. And if they were to see her as a choice, I think a whole lot of people that voted, they either didn't vote or voted for Trump because they didn't want to vote for Hillary or voted for a third party. I think she would attract a lot of votes from a lot of camps.
I would vote for her because she was a quality human being, not because she statistically would have the best chance of winning.
Yeah.
And honestly,
but I think she would. But I think she would. That's the thing is, it just happens that the two align perfectly in my head. Like I confidently believe.
Fuck it. Fuck this.
No. My vote is going towards something that has a realistic chance of making a real impact. But hey, if she announces she's running, all of my efforts in the primaries go towards her. And then she wins the primaries because, of course, she would win. And she's our next president.
But again,
Bird says, I think 60% of the U.S. at most would actually vote for Michelle. 60% would be a landslide. In this day and age, you get those kinds of numbers. It's an absolute landslide.
Oh, yeah. But again, it has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman, nothing to do with the fact that she's black, nothing to do about the policies. It's the fact that she is a good human being. That is what matters.
Would you vote for Oprah? I sure would.
Fuck no. Hard no.
What? Oprah's amazing, man.
I
just remember her name was thrown in the hat, as like another positive.
And the reason being is because she's another reality star. I don't want anyone else that's great on TV. I need someone who understands politics.
No, I agree. I would take Michelle. I would take Michelle Obama for sure.
I want someone who.
But if I had a choice, I would over
some leadership capabilities. Not because you're a billionaire and you do fucking everyone gets a free car. Fuck no.
Birdstar says, I want Oprah as president. I don't know. Would that be so bad if our president came out on Inauguration Day and was like, every American gets to retire at the age of 30? I would be like, oh my God, yes. Yes, our whole country falls apart.
Hard no. I
am a selfish man.
I don't want I do not want another reality star or billionaire.
She's not a reality star. She's one of the most influential people of the 20th century, man.
Okay, I will not vote for Oprah if she ran. Sorry. She has done nothing politically. I mean, she knows nothing. No one in the Senate. Maybe she does. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. No, I agree. Oh man, who was it? I heard something somewhere. It was a joke. I wish I could remember who made the joke, but it was basically along the lines of like, why do all these people like when it comes to when it comes to a doctor, do you want someone to operate on you and to be your doctor who like flips burgers for a living and just decides like I'm gonna try this doctor thing, or do you want someone who is experienced and has years of experience working as a doctor? And knows what they're doing. It's like, yeah. So why do people not apply that to politics? That blows my mind. Like, I want a politician. I want a politician that has never worked in politics, doesn't know what laws are, doesn't even know what the three branches of government are, because they're going to do a good job. They're just, it's like the underdog story. Like, they're going to just see all these problems that the people that are been doing this for their whole lives are too blind to see.
But you would vote for them if the status quo said to.
Man, I definitely would take an experienced politician over an inexperienced one, assuming they have they want to push the policies forward that are policies I would like.
Yeah, well, I would too. But again, I also would prefer to vote on who I think would be, the best human being.
Sure.
Because all things aside, like, that's really what it comes down to. You don't even have to have good political skills.
Yeah.
I would like to have that. But I really just think it comes down to your character, your I mean, because we've definitely had some presidents who claim they've got lots of experience. And they did a shit show job,
Yep.
They just did fucking terrible.
Yeah. Well, and I agree with Rasinka here. That could be said about Clinton. I mean, and that was part of the reason why, like, of course I would have loved a better candidate, but one of the qualities that I did appreciate about her is she at least had experience. Like, I cannot believe why was she trying to cast herself as an outsider is beyond me. because she's not an outsider. I know she was trying. That was like one of her whole things. One of the many things that was like, what are you fucking doing? No, just embrace the fact that you're an insider and that you could actually leverage that. That was something I actually, was okay with. And again, a lot of people saw as a negative about Clinton was, oh, she's a Washington insider. I'm like, well, hey.
She's got a pretty crooked past. Like,
yes.
She
I mean,
has some
she has supported some bad things. She has, yeah, it's definitely true. I don't know why we keep getting dealt, politicians that just have so much of that stuff that are right out there in public.
It's the status quo. They're the best, they're the only candidate that's up for running. So everybody fell in line, and for the people who are in the middle, like me, they're like, "Fuck no, I'm not voting for either one of these shit."
Yeah, well,
and that's honestly where that's who's gonna win, because it doesn't come down to popularity. It comes down to the system that everyone has agreed that we're gonna follow, and nobody's changing because it's just how it is. Yep. I don't agree with changing the system because one side loses over the other. Like that's just fucking crybaby.
I mean, I don't know. Considering both sides have, been impacted in certain ways by the Electoral College and stuff. I don't know. I would think that'd be a bipartisan thing.
But neither one has ever changed it when they were in power. Republicans were in power, they didn't fucking change it. Democrats were in power, they didn't change it. They had every opportunity to, but they didn't, for a very good fucking reason.
I know.
It's better to bitch about it.
Well, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to go to our giant tree, and I'm going to go work on it, because I just did a bunch of mining, and I have a whole bunch more wood ready to go. I've just been running around in circles, just doing random mining. Got a bunch more iron, some more diamond.
I mined out the
lot of tree.
On the I was down there on the bottom of the tree mining.
Oh, that's right. Let me grab some more of these torches. So mining around the stronghold?
Yes, correct. And then building some more path going. Yeah. So, yeah, I know we've kind of talked on, politicians, and I think we talked briefly about gun violence, but, all things aside, I think we're, moving in a pretty positive direction. It'd be interesting to see what this next election brings. I really hope this Mayor Pete guy, you get to see this guy in action. I really like him. He's a pretty solid candidate. He's a good dude. I like him. I like him because he's so different, right? He's like, yeah, I'm gay and I'm also a Christian. It's like, wait, what? Mind blown.
He's got to say it. If he wants to get a certain number of voters,
No, he's legit on it, dude.
Yeah,
like
maybe. I don't know. I'd take that with a grain of salt with any candidate, because it's just a rule. If you're going to run for office and you want any chance at winning, you got to just say you're Christian, because all the atheists they're going to vote for the Christian, and that at least doesn't disqualify you from the Christian vote.
Well, I mean, but I think he's the right kind of Christian. He's like, my God. He said, my God, has a predestination for where I'm going to end up. And he also decided that that this is how I am. So your problem isn't with me. He was talking to the Vice President Pence. He's like, your problem was with my creator.
Happy Pride Month. Right. Yay.
Yeah, awesome. Happy Pride Month.
That's
also, happy
500 bits? 400 bits for Pride Month.
And also happy Juneteenth. It's
summer solstice.
If anybody. No, that's the freedom of slavery. But close.
Wait, what? Juneteenth? I've never heard that.
Yeah, so 150, 160 years ago, Juneteenth was, all the teen days in June was when blacks were freed from slavery. They were told that they were to be given, I think, 40 or 80 acres and I want to say a work animal or something like that. I don't remember what all the. But anyways, this is the celebration of freedom from slavery.
Oh wow.
So, yep.
Well, yeah, let's shift to the positive here. There's a lot of ugliness in the world. There's a lot of bigotry, but going relative scales. Look at 30 years ago and look at today. It may not feel like progress has been made, but progress has certainly been made.
I agree.
We have same-sex bathrooms, or what are they called?
Unisex.
Unisex bathrooms. Like that would not have existed 30 years ago. We have nationwide gay marriage. That would not have existed 30 years ago.
I think we have a better appreciation, understanding, and tolerance for it as well.
Yeah, in like everyday speech, people aren't dropping homophobic slurs and what's even more amazing is how quickly, and again, there's still a long way to go, but transgendered people are far more accepted now than they were 30 years ago. Like 30 years ago, they were the butt of every single joke. And nobody would bat an eye if anyone made a completely transphobic joke. Like, it was just, I don't know. I feel like the needle has moved a lot more quickly on that one, and there's still a lot to go. But I don't know, you just kind of take all these different things, healthcare is at least a little bit better, and the minimum wage, that whole people getting paid well enough is actually going somewhere. Like minimum wage in Arizona is $12 an hour now. Like you can actually live on that pretty well with our cost of living here. So that's pretty cool.
That's all. Yeah. See, those are the things I like, and I want people to think about when they think about our country. Like, we fucked up in the past, no question about it.
We're still fucking up.
But we're making good changes. We're making progress, right?
Yeah.
No country's perfect.
I do.
From it.
Yeah, I feel like it's like 2 steps forward, 1.5 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1.5 steps back.
I don't know. I think we've moved pretty forward on a lot of things like gay marriage and transgender rights pretty fast in the past.
I think what's hard
is
the whiplash has been so strong because like when you look at the bigger look at a whole 30-year span, end to end, it's great. But look at that span, subtract maybe 3 years. I don't know, when did Donald Trump become president? And that growth is larger. I feel like we're kind of ricocheting back a little bit, but I like to really, really hope that it's a temporary ricochet and we spring back forward, and regain lost ground and continue on the path towards progress. Especially like with pulling out of the Paris Climate Accord, like there are real quantitative, tangible steps back that have been taken under this
but
regime.
To be honest, though, I don't think we've actually taken the steps back. Me out. Reason being is because more people have come together and said, "No, we don't agree. These people have, and we stand with them."
Well,
so
I think we'll find out in 2020 how.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't see a lot of. Don't say I'm not saying there's not any, but I definitely think that there's. I don't think it's as bad as it was like during Reagan. Like I definitely think that we're saying, hey, you may not agree with this, but we do.
Leave that there.
So. I think that's a pretty big step in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's complicated. I feel bad saying we've made good progress when you can look around and see areas that just are so painful to look at just how badly. I don't know. Seriously, the rise of the modern day neo-fascists. I pause a little bit when I think about just how incredibly quickly and prominently a lot of these really extreme. We literally have proud neo-Nazis coming together and oh god, what is happening? I felt like we were on the right track, but that's one of those really bizarre things Man,
well, see,
we really had some steps have really been taken back, because that was, I mean, as visible as they are now and as loud as they are, and I feel like that shit's been dialed up substantially since Donald Trump has been elected. And yeah, those people I think were there before, but they were much more in the background, less, I feel like, less organized, less, they have a palm bearer now. I don't know. But yeah, I agree with Rosinka. Vote that bastard out. And then she'll feel a lot safer in America. That's
a pretty shitty thing to.
Well, hey, if I was not a card-carrying citizen of America, just given how fucked up all this immigration shit has been, I don't know. I might, just to avoid any potential complications, steer away from our country until next president rolls around too.
Oh man.
As I'm just saying, agree. As I don't know. Immigrants aren't exactly being treated very fairly here.
No, they're not. They never have been. But do remember, I mean, we even sent the National Guard down to the border on Obama's watch. I mean, that's new. It's just become more prominent.
Yeah. Again, I think the broader point, in the bigger picture, we've been trending towards making progress, but I feel like there's been some whiplash in the last couple of years, and I hope we course correct. And
I think by saying I'm not going to come to your country until you vote that guy out because I don't like him is a pretty shitty thing to say. I mean, come on, yeah, I get it. You don't like him, but it's not like you're going to be persecuted for coming here because he's president. I don't agree at all with that. Is it prevalent? Yes.
Oh no, I'm more talking about potential complications with just ICE and just the actual policies as someone not native born in this country. And I mean, you think about all these tariffs going into effect, and there've been he's caused a lot of instability amongst allies, and I could understand being a little bit nervous. Like, is he going to wake up on the wrong side of the bed one morning and do something just drastic enough that certain countries cut off all travel? Am I going to be stranded? I wouldn't think people would be completely unreasonable for, considering some of that.
I
mean, there is some precedent.
So I don't know.
There is some precedent for him, trying to ban travel to and from certain countries, and if I mean, granted that they're specific countries, but hey, if I was someone that was from one of those countries, there's the potential that they could have gotten stuck.
They're generally sent back to their own country, but to each their own, I guess. I just don't.
He hung up on your prime minister, Rosinka. What an asshole! That's just bad manners, man. That's just bad manners.
Now, I can definitely see boycotting visiting someplace because they were rude to a leader of my country. That I could probably get behind, because that's an arguable offense. That one is like, yes, it happened. I'm proud of being an Australian or an American. Like, if someone hung up on America, like our American president, right, or was rude to them, whoever he or she may be. I'm not saying the specific one, but I'd be a little butthurt. I'm not gonna lie. I would probably be like, well, fuck you. I'm not coming to your country then and spending my money.
It all depends on the circumstances and the who's and the whys and everything to me. But I don't know. Thinking about it that way, I couldn't blame anyone if they wanted to boycott America because they are really unhappy with the current direction of our country under Trump. I really don't see anything wrong with that.
No, not at all.
Hey, that's an actual way to affect change, is refuse travel, if it actually makes a dent in our tourism. And I mean, that's one of the best ways to affect change, is economically.
Yeah.
So if that's the perspective and what's driving your decision to not want to come to the States, I actually really respect that.
Yeah, I mean,
again, it shows principle and everything. I think that's cool.
I think if you insult someone in their country, and they don't want to come here, then yeah, that's an absolutely arguable offense. But just because you don't like his policies or some of the things he says, that's kind of our business.
Well, no, but again, no, I think that's perfectly fine. That's if they want to vote with like, hey, I really don't agree with this. I am not going to give you my tourism dollars. I don't think there's a problem with that. If it's coming from like, just like
gay marriage and going to Russia, right? It's like, oh, you're gonna arrest people who are gay because you don't agree with it. Well, I'm not fucking going to your country.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's back to the point from earlier. Oh shoot, I got distracted.
That's okay.
Anyways, yeah, I think it's more if your decision is more based on like, hey, I just want to boycott this, I don't support this decision, so I'm not going to travel. I think that's great. But if it's an actual like, I am scared something bad will happen to me, that's where it's like, well, there are definitely like some like good safe places. But if you want to, if your decision is based on principle and you want to try to influence us to change, that's one way someone outside of our country can try to make some kind of an impact. I'll take all the help I can get.
But going back to your point about whole changing it based on the status, not exactly. You're not going to hurt us that much. I mean, I'm not being a dick.
Yeah. Well, and Bird is right. Gay and trans people still get fired in the U.S. for being gay or trans. I mean, yes, it does happen. It is much. I mean, thankfully, it's much better now than it was, but it unfortunately still happens. And I think where it happens the most are in like businesses that are affiliated with like religious businesses and stuff. I know they always want to have an exemption to say like, oh, we shouldn't have to our health insurance shouldn't have to cover contraceptives, and we should be able to fire gay people because it's based on our faith. And I mean,
right, but to say that every business in this country does it is completely false. It's grossly inaccurate.
Yeah.
Do they exist? Yeah. Are they few and far between? Absolutely. But yes, they do exist. But I would say that about any country. I think there's a lot of countries out there. Even probably fucking Australia. You could probably look in the news and find someone who's fired for being gay or trans. I mean, I'm sure it happens.
I don't know.
Here it's prevalent. Not everywhere, but it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely, from a principle.
We seem to get a lot of shit from a lot of other people. It's like, why are we the forefront of everyone's fucking problem?
Well, I don't know, man. I'm thinking about this more. And I'm thinking about all the fucked up, rude, shitty things he said to our allies. All of our closest allies. He has been the absolute worst to. I don't know, man. A part of me really wants all the people from that country to boycott the fuck out of us. It just... it actually does make me kind of mad that he's been such a dick to our allies for no good reason. And, just with how egregious it's been, I would just love to see some kind of consequences for that, The side of me that wants justice to be served wants there to be consequences, so... Actually, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I completely support people trying to hurt our tourism industry as much as possible. And
but why is America? Why are we the forefront of everybody's opinion?
Because our fucking shitty decisions, like it or not, have a huge impact on the rest of the world. I mean, Rasinka has said it many times. But it's been a common topic of conversation that our culture it's pervasive, man. And not just our culture, what we do economically, there's like a lot of trading that happens between us and other countries and a lot of other economies that are very dependent on our economy. So things we do have a big effect on the world around us. So I don't think it's that abnormal that so many people would be looking at us and caring about what we're doing and thinking like, what the fuck? I mean, think about the economic repercussions of all these tariffs going into effect. You sure bet your ass that's going to have a humongous impact on non-American countries.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when Donald Trump says something that people don't agree with. Mm-hmm. Why does it matter? You don't live in this country.
Well, I mean, for a lot of the reasons that I just mentioned.
Okay, and I'm not trying to be confrontational. I'm asking a legit question. Why is America that important to everybody?
Because we're little assholes that get our noses in everyone else's business, and as much
you see
as much as shitty as it is, like, man, we just the decisions we make. Yeah, oh, I get it. I bet if everyone else had their choice, they could just happily ignore us and let us be, you know, what are we compared to other countries that have been around for many, many more centuries? We're still like teenagers in the global arena. So, you know, we're going through the rebellious teenage phase.
I just feel
whereas
like
everybody else is like, God damn it, it sucks that this teenager literally, you know, in a lot of ways determines whether or not, you know, life is going well.
America, it feels like the American president is somehow everyone else's president. It's like, no. Like, whatever shitbag we decide to put in office, like, it's not your shitbag. I'm not trying to be rude. It's just,
I don't know, man.
Maybe we have that big of a political influence in the world. You know, maybe when our shitbag says shitbag things, other people have a stronger voice. Maybe it gives rise to, I don't know.
I mean, you were a business major. I'm sure they probably covered a lot in your classes about just how much the global economy is impacted. And other cultures are impacted by our culture. I mean, the biggest example is Hollywood. You know, I think Rasinka's talked about, like, our movies are everywhere, and
but our movies,
you know, so much of our culture, you know, just permeates just all the fringes of the world.
But our Hollywood's pretty progressive and liberal, so.
No, I'm just saying, it's just an example of, like, you know, like it or not, you know, I think it's kind of crappy. I think, you know, I wish it wasn't that way.
Yeah,
but you know, we've had a bad tendency
I wish we didn't have that big of an impact. Like, I feel like I'm responsible for the rest of the world by, you know, who I vote for. It's like, no, I really just want this guy to concentrate on our, you know, our four borders, and not really, like, you know, I mean, I want him to, you know, recognize that there's other countries and, you know, consider them, but it really shouldn't make that big of an impact on everyone else's day-to-day lives.
It shouldn't, but it does.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Rasika says she'd need to be in voice to explain it to Matt. Oh, okay. And she said our NRA reps were meeting with
I heard about that.
Pollies?
Yeah, so our NRA, which is actually, I don't know how much longer they're going to stick around. Like, they're they're in some pretty hot water. I don't know if you've heard the news, but, like, they're pretty much bankrupt at this point because Wayne LaPierre has just been using millions and millions of dollars for his own private expenditures. And now they have, like, issues where they can't pay bills. So, like, NRA TV is away, so it's a TV station for NRA, but it's probably going to be going away because they're like $2 million in debt to the cable company that was paying for them.
Good, man. I really hope that organization just shuts down for good.
Yeah, they've had some pretty poor leadership.
Oh, much. I think it goes so far beyond that. I think the power that they wield, that it's almost dangerous. They're like a prime example of, like, you know, why our system needs to be immune to, like, you know, public interest influencing politics.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of...
I mean, man, any organization that after every shooting, they show up to hold a rally, telling everyone to... Oh, man, I don't know, man. Fuck those guys. Fuck those guys.
That was pretty bad. I'm not... I'm pretty opinionated on Second Amendment rights, but that was a really poor... So I would prefer to see an organization that is empathetic and willing to sit down and like actually address some problems, and maybe focus on education. And I don't know, not what it is right now.
Yep. But hey,
I was actually an NRA member at one point. I had an NRA membership, and then after a while I was like, why am I paying for this? Like, I'm really not getting any benefit from this. Like, I get discounts at shooting ranges and stuff, but they really haven't done anything for me. Like, I don't agree with some of the shit they say. Don't agree with some of the shit they do. And I'm really just paying one dude's salary to go up there and say some pretty horrendous shit, so... Nah, I think I'm gonna cancel.
Yep. Oh. Almost dangerous. Some. Yeah, those guys. Fuck those guys. Oh, what I wouldn't give for a perfect world with no problems.
Well, I mean, at one point in time, they definitely advocated for, education and, protecting rights and having debating things. Now they've turned into this pseudo, political party. I don't get it.
Have you? I forget. Did you see the Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yes. Oh my God.
This is America.
Me sick to my stomach.
Remember the NRA the Guns for Tots program?
That shit. Oh my God. I laughed so hard. I was like, oh my God. I hope these guys aren't.
Oh man, that dude is a fucking treasure for just the service he is performing to the world. I'm so glad we have him doing the work he's doing, because people need to see that. They need to see just a very clear example of how absurd and just crazy shit has gotten with some of these debates, and how just utterly insane people are. Literally supporting, giving a teddy bear to a toddler that has a gun inside, and I cannot believe he got that dude to sing that song.
Honestly, doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't. A lot of those guys are just mouthpieces.
Head, shoulders, not the toes, not the toes. He actually got that guy to sing that song.
What was it? Unicorn Uzi, and then they had rocket launcher or something like rocket ship rocket launcher, or a fucking RPG.
Yeah.
Oh God. Speaking of Sacha Baron Cohen and shitbags running for office, you hear in Alabama who's running?
No.
Take a guess.
Who's running for what in Alabama?
Senate.
Joe Arpaio?
No, worse.
Roy Moore?
Yep.
Wait, he's going again?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God damn it. Oh.
Yep.
He might get elected too. Oh.
And the entire Republican Party was like, not no, but fuck no. They're hard against him. Even Donald Trump's son and Donald Trump are like, dude, you are a hack. You are not fucking right.
If he wins the nomination, they'll line up right behind him.
So the Republicans are...
That's what they all said about Trump. That is what they all said about Trump.
Roy Moore is a little bit different.
Is he, though?
Oh, he's much different, dude. Dude was accused of fucking child rape. Come on. That's a big...
That's definitely worse than anything that Donald Trump's been accused of.
Well, at least we can agree on something there.
Yeah.
Like, that guy, holy shit.
Rasika says, was he the guy on the horse? I think so.
Yes,
He
was. Yeah, he came out. He came out on the horse with his wife nearby, like announcing his candidate, or something like "Vote for me." Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he was accused of molesting children for years and years. Yeah, that guy. He's running in Alabama, but honestly, it's fucking Alabama. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, they're the one state that makes Arizona look good. Our state's actually getting more and more progressive. Like we elected Kirsten Sinema over Martha McSally. I mean, even though she still was given the seat by Doug Ducey, the other seat by Doug Ducey, but
yeah, I heard that that election's gonna be up for grabs this upcoming election. How's that looking?
I don't know, man. I'm not paying attention to any news at all. I just happened to catch something like through a YouTube video I was watching or something about the Pete whatever his name is, and I spent a few minutes Googling and like read a story, and I was like, oh yeah, all right, this guy sounds all right. I like him.
Oh, okay, so you did read up on him.
Yeah. That's why when we were talking about it earlier, I at least had enough knowledge, to make a general judgment.
What did you think about his platform?
I mean, I think it's a decent platform. I think, it'd be nice if he was a little more like experienced and had more concrete details. But
so he actually has more experience than most of the other people on the
right
that are up.
And again, hey, I'm all about judging people relative to other people. So, I'm just bringing that up as like, hey, hypothetically. So I like a candidate that gives more details, but hey, I think compared to the other people, he seems like he could be very electable.
Yeah, I watched his debates. He's been mayor for 7 years, I think.
That's good.
He's served 2 tours in Afghanistan, and he speaks 4 languages. Like, that sounds...
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's way better credentials. Actually, maybe my problem isn't really with his credentials. It's, I hope he outlines like clear, tangible aspects to his plans rather than offering vague platitudes about things he's going to fix and do. Which I think you could levy that argument at a whole lot of politicians.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the things I liked about Obama so much is he had so much specificity about how he would get things done.
Yep.
And I think that's what made him so inspiring to so many people. It's like he's not your everyday politician just saying, "Oh, I'm gonna fix this," and I'm gonna like that dude had a plan.
Yep.
And it didn't, everything didn't go quite according to plan, but hey, he at least had a better plan than most.
Well, when you see Pete on the debate stage, I think you'll really like him. Later, Rasinka. I think you really like him. I'm pretty confident you will.
Oh, I'm not watching any debates.
For the primary?
No. I will make sure I'm informed enough to vote when I have an opportunity to vote. Well, but I am continuing my trying to maintain happiness in my life and staying the fuck away from any news.
Well, at least do this when it comes time. At least watch him.
Yeah.
At least see.
I'll make sure I'm making an informed decision. Yeah.
Because he really knows how to talk. I mean, I think he really has a lot of great things to say. Well, listen, man, it's been fun, but I gotta get to bed. It's work tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna probably have to call it here soon too, but
it has definitely been fun. I always enjoy talking. I'm a news addict. I enjoy reading the news several times a day just to keep informed, So I will be your buffer. And I'll tell you right now, don't turn on the news for at least for another 6 to 9 months. But I definitely plan on...
I don't need to be told that.
I definitely plan on watching the debate in 5 days, by the way. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. So
well,
it's going to be Pete and Biden and Sanders up on stage against each other.
I will just say, being oblivious to what's going on in the news, like thinking about what I'm thinking about day to day, like the thoughts, the time, what I'm doing with my time. I recommend it. You know, I was a news junkie there for a while. Like, I just couldn't stop. But I realized the way it was making me feel, it was giving me feelings of frustration and despair and, you know, occasional bouts of hope here and there. But, like, it was a net negative, man. The news is just full of misery. Like, that's what sells news. I think I had my fill. And I will say, life is much, much better.
So then don't watch the news, but at least watch what Pete has to say. That's all.
Yeah. Like I said, I will make sure I am educated and up to speed when it comes time to vote.
Yep. All right, man. Well, it has been fun. I'm sorry we talked more politics than Minecraft and video games.
It's all good.
But, yeah, it's always enjoyable.
Yep. Well, I will be on tomorrow night.
Yeah, so I'll be on tomorrow night, but Saturday night I'm going camping.
Okay.
I'm leaving early Saturday morning. So I'm going to be spending a couple days up in the mountains getting ready for elk season.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll probably do our server tomorrow night then, and then I'll do the nursing home on Saturday, assuming that works for nursing home folks. I want to say Christina is back this weekend, so I do want to see when she's available and if she is going to be on. It's been like a couple of months since any of us have seen her. I just want to make sure that line things up
for sure
for her too.
Yep. Also update on my computer, order the processor and the flow valve indicator. So all that's left is a graphics card.
Oh my god.
Yep. So just got to get the flow indicator. Got to cut some more pipe and install that and finish the pipe to the CPU cooler, which I already have. And CPU should be here, I think, Monday. RAM should be here tomorrow. And then, yeah, man, we're on the final step. So next month.
Sweet. It's good to hear.
And then we'll truly find out where the problem.
Where the what?
Where the problem lies.
Oh, because you're just assuming you're going to have a problem.
No, I'm assuming that you're going to have a problem.
Oh, you're talking about the Minecraft problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, we're going to find out soon.
All right, brother. We'll see you.
Later, man. Oh, mother effer. These guys have been dropping on my head all night. Well, not all night, just recently. Okay, I'm gonna go down there and light things up. Let's get these creepers to stop murdering me. And now sudden silence. No, I refuse for there to be silence. Tagson, thank you for keeping chat alive. Sorry, Bird and anyone else, if we just pissed all of you off and you're all really annoyed to have listened to politics. But hey, it's where the conversation went. Matt wanted to play ball, so I was ready to play ball. I hope you guys agreed with my arguments. Did you agree with me more, Bird? Do you think there's anything that I said that you think is just utterly wrong, Bird, that I'm like totally off base on, or you think I'm generally... Do you feel like my perspective is generally, you know, in a good place, I guess? That's fair, Bird. Well, I mean, I do too, but, you know, he's my friend, so... fortunately, I can be, like, 100% honest with Matt, as you've seen, so... I don't know, I actually... I don't tend to get too frustrated, because if there's something I don't agree with, I just literally just hash it out with him and say, I totally disagree with you, and here are the reasons. And I don't know, I've just learned to kind of remove my ego from a lot of these conversations and just say, hey, he's at least going to debate with me honestly. And man, even if I disagree with someone, it means so much just to be able to like talk honestly with someone and have someone argue in good faith. I definitely disagree with some of that stuff, though. Yeah, that's fine. Well, and as you guys know, I have brought it up many times. I'm totally screw politics, screw the news. I'm avoiding all of that. I just literally, I will only talk about that stuff when Matt brings it up now. And I know in the past, on these streams, I've been a little more like gung-ho about getting into that stuff myself. That's definitely not how I feel lately. So I'm going to stay away from any of those talks. But hey, if Matt wants to bring it up, I'm going to come out swinging. I'll be ready. Be ready with all the arguments in the world. I've thought about this stuff plenty. I'm also very, very fed up with just how stupid some of the shit is in our country. So I do not mind debating that stuff. Oh, well, that's good, Bird. I'm glad yeah, it's inevitably going to alienate some people, but I'm glad the people here that I care about the most, you know, I'm glad you guys are okay with it. And it at least makes for some interesting conversation, you know. Some of these streams are a lot more silent, and I'm just kind of zoned out, just doing my thing, not really talking a whole lot. So I do appreciate having the occasional stream where it's just non-stop talking and debating, and we gotta have some of those to mix in with what is sure to be a very quiet rest of the stream tonight. Or I don't know, maybe I've gotten going so much that I'll just keep talking to myself now. That might be fun. Hi, Isla. How's the kitty doing? Ouch, she's murdering my hand right now.
Already murdering my hand.
Oh god, she's scratching it so much.
Daddy, look. This is Poppy's foot.
Oh, that's cute. I love our little kitty. We just need to be sure we're all arguing in good faith and that we all have the facts. And that's why I actually tolerate Matt's positions. He isn't arguing in bad faith like most conservatives do. Well, I appreciate you recognizing that, Bird. That's especially as young as you are, not to be ageist or anything, but I think you have a very good perspective if you can recognize that. And you know, the society today, and I think, you know, younger generations today they're just accustomed to this hyper-polarized world where, you know, there are two buckets. You put person in one bucket or the other, and if you put them in that other bucket, you just have to hate them. But I think there's a lot more nuance to it. I do think a lot of, you know, right-wing people are legitimately, like, bad people. But, you know, I think there are more people like Matt than a lot of people realize that, you know, in their whole, like, why am I doing this? And they're probably in the same boat I am, where it's like, I have two choices, and I just happen to prioritize these things, and this is the choice I have to make, and it's a Republican. And, you know, I don't know. I don't think it's fair to condemn an entire side and lump them all together. But whatever. You imagine me a Sledge from Rainbow Six Siege? Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a fair point, Bird. And that's why I was trying to be very careful to make it clear what exactly I was qualifying. And, you know, it's definitely true. You face more persecution than me. Rusinka would face more persecution. That is not a doubt. Like, that is an absolute truth. But what is another truth is at least the needle has moved. Even if it hasn't been as much as it should have been, it has moved in the right direction. Things are better now than they were 30 years ago. They should be a lot better. You shouldn't be persecuted at all. God damn it, and you're still persecuted more than you should be. I like to try to find silver lining somewhere, you know, if I want to get through my day-to-day and not be completely miserable in this world, I like to have a little bit of hope. And framing things that way sometimes gives me a little bit of hope. Like, looking at things and saying, hey, things are shitty all over, but man, at least we can look at the big picture and say, you know, there's you can point out some improvement here and there. I don't know, man. I just need some little victories. He uses a sledgehammer to destroy walls. Okay, Taxon. Yeah. Yeah, I hope it was clear that I was not arguing that people are not persecuted. I think, you know, Matt was arguing. I don't think Matt was really arguing that either. But I mean, I was trying to be very careful to clarify, like, you know, what exactly I was talking about when I say that things have improved. You know, the two aren't mutually exclusive. Things can be really bad, but while simultaneously being way better than they used to be. Like, those two are not mutually exclusive. Yeah. Oh my god. Under the blanket. Those cats, I swear. Yeah. Yep. You know, privilege is a hell of a thing. We're all limited to the perspectives we have. I wish there was a way, some magical way, that people could just magically have the perspectives of other people. Do you realize how many problems in the world would be solved if you could just say, hey, hook something up to my brain matrix style and give me all the perspectives of people in the world. Let me see what the world is like through the lens of a marginalized person. Let me see what the world is like through the eyes of a billionaire. Let me see what the world is like through the eyes of a serial killer. Like, just, you know, if we could all, if that was somehow possible for everyone to be able to truly understand each other's perspective, I wonder if we'd have world peace. Well, thanks, Bird. Oh, I try. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to stick to my principles, which is whatever change I can affect with the tools I have at my disposal in our current electoral system. I'll do everything in my power to move the needle in the right direction. I feel like that's a good way to sum up my viewpoint on these things. Yeah, that's true, Bird. I mean, I think it would be much more valuable, you know, if you had to pick and choose. If just anyone who's going through life not having a hard time and just like, what's up with these people that are always complaining? Like, life's great. You know, if all of those people could just you know, I don't know, just zap them in the head and say, boom, here's your same lifetime of experience, but for this guy over here who has it really, really shitty. And then that person could be like, oh, I didn't realize some of the struggles these people are dealing with. Maybe I can now understand where they're coming from and, you know, support moving society in a direction that, you know, makes them feel more like I feel. Like, man, that's... I don't know. I like to think humans, on average, are generally empathetic, and I don't know how true that is, but... No, kitty. She's attacking all the cords in here now. Ah, she's bit me! She bit me! Ah! No! She's biting me and scratching me.
I'm not gonna this.
Shh! She's the devil! Oh! Hi, kitty.
Here you go.
I don't want that cat. Alright, I need to get up to a safe place, and I need to log out, because it is past midnight. This has been a fun night. No, don't give her to me. Take her. Take her now. Take her. Oh, God.
Just
No, I asked you to take her. Well, thanks for putting up with me tonight, Bird, and everybody else. I will continue to try to make good, coherent arguments in favor of justice and equality. Yeah, I don't know. I think it is very valuable to have some perspective of, you know, like going through some hardship. Such valuable life experience. I mean, I haven't gone through the hardship a lot of other people have, but, you know, up until I was 18, we did live below the poverty line. We were at least very, very poor. That's one thing that in certain places you could say is kind of the great equalizer. I mean, yeah, I think a white poor person isn't going to have it, isn't going to have to deal with quite as much shit as a non-white person, but it definitely went through some struggles. Things weren't super easy growing up and having no money and living in really, really poor areas. And I feel like that perspective is super, super valuable as an adult in life, now that I'm in control of my own shit and even though things are going relatively well for me now, I've at least had some level of experience of, life not being just this fine and dandy thing. And that's enough for me to, to desire for everybody to be able to have an awesome life. Whatever we can do to get society to the point that we all have awesome lives. It's all... Wouldn't that just be great? Just everything is awesome all the time. Oh, I totally agree with you about the NRA, Bird. 100%. 100%. They are an evil, evil organization. yeah, I don't know. I'm not advocating for any specific thing that has a specific label other than, you know, there's just a way the world could be. I want this world to be the best world it could be. Like, seriously. Everyone equal and happy, with all the same opportunities available, you know, to each person as everyone else. I know it's pie in the sky, unrealistic stuff, but you know, I think having a clear vision like that, you know, like knowing what you truly, you know, what is it you truly want, like what's really important at the heart of it all, you know, it's really that. And then it's easy to kind of look at who's out there and who's going to shape policy and who's going to do this and who's going to do that and make the decision for, you know, who the best person to vote for is. Very easy decision. As long as greedy, privileged people exist, we can only dream. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a certain element of human nature to that. You know, I think that's yeah. Let's leave it at that. We do need systemic change. You know, I don't think realistically, I don't think we ever fully get there, but I think, again, the needle moves a little further every year, every 5 years, every 10 years, it gets a little bit better. I really like to hope 50 years from now, you know, that it's a completely different landscape, and I don't know. Oh, that's a good point, Bird. Human nature. What is human nature? Alright, well, let me call it a night here. I'm going to just hide out in this little... Actually, let's go hide out over here. So, thank you, Bird, for putting up with me. Thank you, Tagson. Whoever the other 5 people are, thank you so much. Owl, if you're still out there, thank you. I really, really appreciate you always tuning into my streams, even when they're incredibly bad and boring. I really... just love you guys. Love you all. Alright, I will see you all tomorrow night. Peace out, everybody.